Yo, what's up? I'm Arenma, and today I'm gonna be sat down with a pretty special artist by the name of B-Joux to talk about his latest project, Allow Me. So, what's up? Talk to me, man. How are you? How are you? We'll start with that. I mean, I've seen you already, because
Yeah.
obviously, but on camera, how are you genuinely?
I'm alright, bro. I'm alright. It's good. The weather's not great in the UK right now.
What's new, bro?
Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Focused right now, and yeah, man, just excited, really excited.
Yeah. Why Allow Me?
Um, I mean, allow me. That's something that we always say. Like me and the guys. It's kind of just slang, but I think in this context, like, I kind of want people to give me some grace. I feel like allow me is almost like, not making excuses, but almost saying that, look, I'm gonna be doing whatever, and just like try and understand where the behavior is coming from. Like, allow me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, just allowing myself to be a free spirit and letting it be known that, like, that's what I'm gonna be doing. So I think people will hear that a lot more in the tape. But yeah, allow me is like, I feel like London, like living in London and grinding so hard. It's like it almost feels like a dystopian type of city. It's like.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I think since COVID, I think there's been a lot more control. I think there's a lot. London is intense.
London is intense.
And we want to make sure that, like, we understand that, like, things are not. It's not just a sweet. It's not just a this kind of tourist attraction. There's a lot of mental pressure. You need to have a mental edge to be in London, and I think it does chip away. So when I say allow me, it's like, sometimes the city can turn you crazy, and allow me is just like, yo, just forgive me for my craziness, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So is it kind of you saying that the project is, I guess, context to the crazy?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. It's just more like, I feel like, especially being like Londoners and things like that, like, we repress emotions so much. Everybody's so mundane. Everything is so kind of hush hush. And I think even just within my music, I just wanted to go back to having fun and just expressing myself and kind of just going against the grain a little bit and just saying, yeah, allow me. I just want to have fun right now. I see a lot happen to a lot of artists where you can lose your edge when you're not enjoying the process, and you have to be real about yourself with how much you are enjoying the process.
Yeah.
You can make great music for other people, but realistically, it's like, if it's not sitting right within yourself and your spirit, then you're not gonna feel that jubilation. Even like, just hold it. Like, one thing we've had in our team is we like to roll out things so perfectly. Sometimes we hold on to music for too long, and then that kind of that initial energy, that initial feeling, it goes. So it's just about making sure that, like, you're excited about what you're doing and then acting on it as soon as possible and putting it out there to the world in the right way.
How has perfectionism kind of shown itself in the making of this album?
I think in terms of that, it was more about that the tape was going through, like, many different forms. It was shorter, it was longer, different type of songs, and I think being like, for this one, it was about curating something that is like a truer reflection of the energy I have internally, and a true reflection of my persona, rather than trying to make songs. I'm trying to, like, give you my energy, and I feel like the songs that I picked do that the best. It feels like it's a journey of, like, it's not just you listening to songs, it's like you're experiencing me through the music.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a lot different to okay, we're gonna try and make a project, and you know, these are the songs. This song fits best here. It's like no, like this is how I want you to feel as you're listening to it.
Yeah.
Like because like, do you know what I mean? I need you to come out of the tape feeling like okay, like oh, I get it.
Yeah. And you know, like I've listened to bits of the project, and you know, the sonic you pull from different genres, but it's not necessarily overt on first listen, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 100%.
Like some of the stuff you play me, like if you didn't point out some of the influences, I may not have caught that first time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So I guess what would you want someone to take from this project besides just you giving them yourself? What would you want them to take from the project that they may be able to apply in their own lives? Because a lot of, you know, people get inspired by artists, rappers allow, you know, it's very common that they say rappers allow you to see yourself
100%.
in different ways. So what would you want someone to take from this album that they may be able to implement themselves?
I think like for all young creators, I think I just want people to like have fun. Do you know what I mean? With what they're doing, like that's one thing I really want to show people. Like, is just to have fun, and like I want to make sure that I'm having fun with this project. I think people need to feel that energy throughout. I think I would just tell people like, don't overthink it. You know, and in terms of influences, I think my music over time, you see the layers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think in terms of my influence, hopefully the music I'll say my musical style has changed. I'm probably going back if you've been listening to me for the last couple of years, we've moved through many different genres and things like that. But I want people to understand like I'm all of those genres.
Yeah.
But at the heart of it, there's a certain energy I bring, and that's what we're getting back to.
Yeah.
So whether that's people feel like that, or that's like garage or drill or trap or super trap or grime or whatever, you're gonna. It's like I compare it with like one of my probably my favorite rapper, Skepta, and no matter what genre he's doing, you always feel
you're getting Skepta.
You're getting Skepta. So it's a certain presence, and that's what I want to be remembered for, rather than just saying he was this and that. Like no, like you can't really realistically. I don't think you can really pin me down to say, oh yeah.
No, the versatility is shown like over the last two projects, and from what I've heard, it's showing again, but in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like that you've kind of picked up on, you know, being able to go and tick different boxes elsewhere while still being yourself. Because I think that's a very important thing to do, because otherwise you kind of get lost in the noise of that box, if that makes sense.
100%.
So I definitely appreciate that a lot. And going back, like you said, you haven't just come from nowhere. You've been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah.
Foundation was the project before that. How was the approach to making Foundation? How's the approach to making Allow Me different to making Foundation? Especially, you know, with the gap between you've gone, you've lived a bit, you've experienced some things, and then you've come back to it. So how has the approach changed through living a bit alive?
I think what I was able to do during the pandemic was like get some more equipment and like really dive into engineering my own music. So during the pandemic, I was just like waking up, you know, middle of the night, do whatever I want to do, keep going, and that process of like just doing it every day and working the muscle, it's you know, it brought out. I'm making the sheer volume of songs I made during that in the last 2 years is more than I've ever made.
Yeah.
You know, so as opposed to like going to the studio in mind, it's like, okay, I'm gonna work with this producer and we're gonna make this, and you know, I need to get this kind of song. It's like I'm just making whatever, and whatever I feel on the day is what's coming out, and I'm understanding myself a lot more. It's been more like therapy for me, man. You know, it's just been more like therapy. There's times where I just, you know, I've just literally just been, something happened to me in the day, I can go straight to the mic and just express myself. I might be angry with a situation, I might just crash out on a song, and it's just like whatever I feel like, and I can just have all of these in the locker, and then we can actually pick, and you see a much much wider range of emotions, much wider range of songs. So I'll say that's been the main difference. Like Foundation, I really tried to like make a project that was like almost like an album, man. I tried to really like give people everything, you know, give something for make a song for everyone, and makes music that's like can reach the masses and as many ears as possible. This one, man, I was just doing what I like.
Yeah.
You know, whatever I like, that's what we're doing. Like, if people, people that might not like certain trap music right now, I don't care.
Yeah.
I like trap music, so we're making trap.
We're making trap music. Very understandable.
Literally.
And that, to be fair, that does go back to what you were speaking on about, being able to put out stuff that people like and be good at putting out stuff that people like, but not necessarily feel it yourself. Because I think that's something I can definitely relate to, like being able to do something but not necessarily enjoying doing it, if that makes sense. So I say that to say, now that you've put out Allow Me and you're into trap music right now, do you have any other influences, and do you get inspiration from other places?
Yeah, bro, like I'm really into electronic and alternative music. I really mess with like I've really been messing with like Fred again, 070 Shake.
Yeah.
There's even bands like Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs and things like that. But like there's just so many there's a band, the group Alan Kingdom and Spooky Black made a group called The Standard in 2013. Got a great album, like special album, so far ahead of the time, like way ahead. But just making stuff that I'm definitely inspired to, like, especially like I was saying to you before with Brandon, but just create something that lives in its own space, sonically, visually, and just like, even if it is trap, we can alter it so that it sits by itself.
And to be fair, I do say that I still use that term loosely, because trap is still very broad and diverse. But I think I do understand what you mean by allowing stuff to, I guess, sit in its own place. And that's kind of, since I've gotten into your music, that's kind of what I've taken from it. It's like this is going in the direction it's going, regardless of whatever the stream is or whatever the current is at the time. Which is something I definitely appreciate about your music.
Thank you.
And I do appreciate the fact that you've done everything yourself, from cover art to mixing and mastering to all of that. So can you speak on that process and how you approach that as well?
Yeah, I think obviously I just wanna obviously shout out my team every time. Shout out Oz on the camera, like guy I do my production company with, like my right hand guy, obviously Derek, and I got other people, Nico, like I got a great team of people around me that inspire me all the time, and everybody's like so hands on with what they do, and everybody's pushing in different areas that is something that I'm forced to do as well.
Yeah.
I've produced I've got 2 production credits on songs I've done, but I really want to, like, because my production style, the influence is vastly different to what I'm rapping on right now. So it's just about bridging the gap, and I feel like we're a group of people, like, we're just constantly trying to learn, and that's gonna pay dividends in the long run. So we're just gonna continue learning, and to be honest, we're gonna do more things hands on as well.
Can you speak on the importance of, like, doing the education of whatever it is you're doing? Because talent is one thing, ability is one thing, but learning how to really hone in on that skill, like, can you speak on the importance of that and how it's benefited you as well?
Yeah, I feel like if you want to be a boss in any company, like, you need to know every role in the company.
Big facts.
Like, even if you run into the janitor, if you're in the hallway and you run into the janitor, it's like, yo, where are the new mops? You need to know. Yep, go downstairs, level 2, bam, you can get the mops. They just need to know that. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't, you need to have somebody that knows that.
I hope that doesn't go over heads. Whoever's watching this, like.
But yeah, so it's just like, it's like with anything, man. Like, information is the number one thing. It's the number one resource. So and also there's also one of the best forms of information is experience. So sometimes, bro, it's like just diving in, just get your feet wet, go in there. As long as you can envision it, there are no limits. So I just feel like when it comes to like doing education, I just don't see any limits. So we just keep on going, and it's like if I feel like I want to do this, I don't tell myself, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's true, and that's also pretty important. However, you know, still human beings at the end of the day. So when you do maybe take a knock or do fall back, how have you been able to climb out of that?
Ultimately, like, you know, this is something I want to do for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
This is like something that aligns with my spirit, with my soul. So it's like we got to figure it out regardless. Yeah, that's how I live it. And also, like, there's a level I want.
That's a tune, by the way. Just let you know.
But yeah, there's a level I want to hit, and I won't be satisfied until I get there.
Yeah. Well, I think I've gotten a lot from this. Like, gotten a lot of insight. And before we finish, can you just let me know, right, what the catchphrase is for the next few months? So you gotta allow me. That's the project.
Yeah.
We got for those who are gonna hear it.
Yeah.
Just throw one more in there. We need a B-Joux catchphrase. That has nothing to do with the project.
We got allow me. We got
So one more catchphrase.
I mean, like, I kind of got this, you know what I'm saying? I kind of got this from Free Thugger, but you know what I mean? Like, we just, like, recently, I just been feeling like less is more. So, like, there's certain things, like, for instance, if I wasn't going to congratulate you on the interview, like this interview, I'd be like, bro, the interview, yeah.
It's just I know what it means, but, you know, if you're in the name of articulation, it may not, it may not register, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's like, you did your thing, like, that was cold. Like,
I tip my hat off to you.
I tip my hat off to you.
Type
I agree.
shit. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sat down with B-Joux. I've been Arenma. Thanks for watching.